What's going on, everybody? This is Niz Weather Wisdom. The time is 12:52 on Wednesday afternoon, January 7th. And we have an active end of the week to talk about. Again, this is Niz Weather Wisdom. I want to welcome anybody who's watching live, who will be watching later on this afternoon, either streamed on Facebook or on YouTube. Thanks, everybody who will be joining in. And again, we have an active week ahead. So I want to get right to it. Let's go through a number of different scenarios, models, and really break down the weather that we're expecting here over the next couple of days. So the first system, by the way, will be just rainfall for us here in southeastern Wisconsin. Could have some rain mixed with snow in central Wisconsin. But what I want to do here is let's back up here. Let's take a look at the current scenario across the Midwest, because right now things are quiet. We're enjoying quiet conditions, not only here in Wisconsin, but throughout the Midwest here. What eventually is going to happen is we're going to get an area of low pressure, two areas of low pressure to work across the Rockies. The first one looks like a slam dunk that it intensifies across the plains, and eventually a surface low develops and we get primarily rain, given the track that I'm going to show you. And then the second one's a bit more in question. So let's time things out. Before we do that, I'd like to encourage anyone who is watching on Facebook to find me on YouTube. Head over to YouTube, subscribe to Brian Niznansky's page. There is a page, Brian Niznansky. I've been going back and forth whether I want to name that Niz Weather Wisdom or Brian Niznansky's page, just generic. Just really want to hit as many people on different streams. I think we get too caught up in like one platform, and I just want to make sure we can find a way to expand the information sent out. So, all right, hit subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to this page below. And if you have a question or comment, please fire away. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know if you have any questions with the upcoming weather. So let's get back to the current scenario. As I mentioned, we have quiet conditions now throughout the Midwest, from Milwaukee to Chicago, up to Minneapolis, down to Wichita, St. Louis, Kansas City, everybody enjoying some nice and quiet weather. That will be changing. Okay. Now, let's switch over to what is the graph computer model. This is our in-house computer model that we use at TMJ4, Storm Team 4. It's had a pretty good run with recent systems. So let's weigh on it. Really, especially like 24 to 48 hours out, the system does a good job. I really like to then lean towards the National Weather Service product, the HER product, less than 24 hours out. But let's go through it. So you can always follow the time on the top part of the screen. You can see 5:45 p.m. this evening. Still high pressure and quiet conditions throughout the Great Lakes. Here comes our system. Okay, so see how that energy really disorganized comes across the Rockies. You start to notice that spin and intensified precipitation starting to ramp up late tonight into tomorrow morning. This is 6:15 Thursday morning. Some pretty good rain, maybe even thunderstorms rolling through eastern Kansas, eventually Missouri. And I think the rain begins in southern Wisconsin by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon. You can see the heavy rain, pretty widespread heavy rain event for eastern Iowa. Notice some mixing on the northern fringe of this system, but this is primarily a rainmaker. You could see a mixed precipitation event in Minnesota, far northern Wisconsin. Could get accumulating snow. Great for them, for the snowmobiling trails. But as we scroll and scrub through the timing in southern Wisconsin, this is all rain. This is all rain for us in southern Wisconsin. This is all rain for us in Chicago. This is, again, just another wet system heading into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. We might even get dry slotted with this, which would bring the amount of rainfall down. We actually get a lull in the rain through much of the evening on Thursday. If this computer model run pans out, all it would take, though, is a slight adjustment to the south, and we'd find ourselves in the constant swath of rain. But as of right now, it looks like that constant swath would be more from like Madison to Green Bay, whereas we get dry slotted here in southeastern Wisconsin. Can't rule out maybe some rumbles of thunder with this. There is actually, I think, a decent severe risk south of Chicago with some of these storms. You get these strong areas of low pressure this time of year, highly sheared environment. And then the system exits with maybe a stray rain or snow shower early Friday morning. Then we're done. Now let's keep that dry slot in mind. And by the way, again, if you are watching this, if you have a question, please fire away. I'll try to answer those questions on this live stream at the end. Or if I'm watching this, if you happen to be watching this later on in the afternoon, evening, I'll reply in the comments. So future rainfall in southeastern Wisconsin with that dry slot potential in mind. Looks like the heavier amounts northwest of Milwaukee. However, when I go and put my official forecast together this evening, I really need to see consistent dry slotting to show this map. I'm going to probably say more like a half inch to an inch for most of southeastern Wisconsin possible. But this really shows the potential that dry slotting from Milwaukee down to Racine and Kenosha. Bigger picture, this is the European computer model. This is going to be a little bit more broad brush, but this will widen out the view for any of our viewers that happen to be watching across the Midwest and the plains. And you see, again, this is going to bring a swath of a half inch to an inch of rain across much of the Midwest and the Great Lakes. Before we get to the title of this is Double Storm Systems. This is the first system. Before we get to the second system's timing and what it looks like, I'm going to check here to see if we have any questions or comments that may be coming in. And again, if you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to click the subscribe link below. If you're on Facebook, try to find us on YouTube, and that'll be an easier way. But yeah, let's see if we got any questions, comments coming in. Tyler says, send major snowstorms to Colorado. We need snow. Stay safe, Wisconsin. Tyler, thanks for joining in, especially if you are in Colorado. Yeah, I know you guys need snow. I've been watching some of the Instagram feeds showing, again, like Colorado, really, their ski resorts are struggling. Utah, even worse, but they just got hit pretty good with snow, Park City, Utah. So that hopefully some good news for them. Appreciate those questions and comments, though. Keep them coming in. Thank you, Tyler. All right. Across the Midwest, we're looking at a second system here. And yes, this next one could give Colorado a decent amount of snow as well. You can see Denver's on the fringe of this map I'm showing. But as we go through time here for us in the Midwest, now this picks up, look at the time, Friday afternoon into Friday night. So with this, we are dry in Wisconsin through Friday night. But by Saturday morning, let me rewind here. This system, the reason why we're not getting too bullish on it yet, it comes in really underdeveloped on the heels of what looks to be the parent low pressure system, the one that we're dealing with tomorrow. So if this comes in underdeveloped, it's going to probably be a flatter, compact system, and it won't be a major winter storm. But there's a chance a deeper surface low still develops, and we end up with a good amount of snow across parts of the Great Lakes. This GFS computer model run's been pretty consistent on a underdeveloped system, brings a narrow, smaller, compact area of snow. Now, the track of the center of the low is good for us for snow in southeastern Wisconsin now. More of a mixed event down in Chicago, which, by the way, there's a big game Saturday evening down in Chicago, Packers-Bears, of course. But this brings snow to southern, well, first it brings snow to Iowa, a mix towards the Quad Cities, more of all snow to Des Moines, early Saturday morning. Then midday, late morning, midday, southern Wisconsin. and then potentially some wraparound light snow into Saturday evening, and maybe even lingering into Sunday morning. But like the bulk of this looks to be during the day on Saturday for us here in southeastern Wisconsin. And given this track, given how compact it is, underdeveloped, this does not look like a major storm. So, can it still ramp up? Of course, but I know I don't have the following yet, but I'm hoping to build it up with credibility like this. You're going to see a ton of people on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, like screaming from the mountaintops that every storm system is going to be the worst storm system ever in history. And it's going to dump a ton of snow. They're going to cherry pick the worst computer models just for clicks. I'm never going to sell out like that. So that's just the way it is. My primary job is still, you know, credibility for TMJ4, Storm Team 4, and not going to be someone chasing clicks. That's all good. Now, with that said, I do appreciate likes and subscribers, but I'll give it to you straight. All right, so here is future snowfall based on the European computer model. The first storm does bring maybe some beneficial snow to northern Wisconsin. All rain for most of the Midwest, including us in southern Wisconsin. Second storm could bring some accumulating snow, narrow band from Iowa into southern Wisconsin and eventually northern Wisconsin. But right now, this is looking like a few inches of snow and not a major snowstorm. So again, that would be during the day on Saturday, and we will continue to bring you specific amounts when it is appropriate to do so. This far out, a system on the heels of a stronger system, no one knows what that system specifically is going to do comfortably enough to give numbers. And if you're giving numbers, you're reckless. So that's just the way it is. All right, everybody. Let me see if we got any questions, comments that come in before we exit for the day. And again, if you happen to be watching this in the afternoon and not live, you can always leave a question or comment, and I'll try to answer it in the comment section. How windy is Chicago Saturday night? Great question, Ryan. There will be some wind. I don't think it's like crazy wind, but yes, the potential is there for 20, maybe even 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts affecting the Packers game. So yes, rain in January is dumb. Jam says, I agree. I like snow. I don't like terribly cold weather, but I would agree. This time of year in Wisconsin, much of the Midwest, I think a lot of people would prefer the snow, at least the good that comes along with it. Drew wants to know, any deep below zero cold second half of January? I'm really not seeing huge, big plunges of cold. Not seeing it. So Nicholas wants me to load up the European model before we go. I assume for that second system, I did show the rainfall of European model for the first system. Second system, I could load up the European model for sure. I'm happy to do that. Just bear with me while I load it up. I didn't have it in my presentation, but I can get to it. Just might take me a minute here. And it might need to take a little bit of tweaking. But yeah, I mean, obviously this far out, you're weighing the European, you're weighing the GFS. To be honest with you, the European and the GFS haven't been great. There's some discussions with the National Weather Service on some tweaks not being good for us, especially with our forecasting in the Midwest. Not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying there's been some stuff that's off. All right, so this will pick up European Saturday morning, very similar to what, let me make it bigger for you guys too. Hopefully this will help out. This will be very similar to what we're showing with the GFS, at least according to this. Again, bear with me here, just loading it into my thing. Okay, so here we go. This is the European computer model showing, again, more of a compact system, little narrow model, a narrow swath of precipitation that, yes, could bring accumulating snow. Does it look like a lot of accumulating snow? Not really. Looks like a few inches of snow. Sorry, I'm just learning how to navigate through this. But watch very carefully. You'll see as this progresses through, still pretty compact here in southern Wisconsin, then some wraparound snow. So very similar to the GFS, the European model, showing a compact system, showing a system that is not going to bring a major, not a major snowstorm across the area, but a system that could bring, a few inches of snow to southern Wisconsin. So yeah, both the GFS and European, Nicholas, great question, are in line right now, which gives me some good confidence. But we got to get through tomorrow's system. I always talk about this. When you got two systems that are really close to each other, they are correlated. The air is a fluid, right? Our atmosphere is a fluid. So if the center of low pressure tomorrow goes like 25 miles north, or it tightens up a little bit stronger, that's going to directly force what happens with the second one. How much are you into the AI Euro model? I'm really looking into, Drew wants to know. Drew, if you have, please send me a link. I'm looking for a user-friendly platform to observe AI models. A lot of the stuff I'm coming across is experimental, really hard to get to. But I will say there is a future for these AI models. I think that's a really big discussion there. The handling of the AI models is very different than these operational models that have done us really well. The modeling has improved. It's gotten better. It's done really well for us. The GFS, the European, the NAM, all of those have done really well. What AI modeling does in general is, instead of using algorithms to predict the future with the data set, you get the data set, and the AI models are able to historically predict based on history what that data set has produced historically. So the AI models kind of look back at a sampling. So very interesting stuff. Are we going to stay in an active pattern, more systems possible after these? Yeah, it does. It looks like more of a, still some small troughs and ridges. What I will say is we're definitely out of the Clipper Express type of modeling pattern that comes in from the northwest. What we'll see now is more potentially storms that bring Colorado some snow. And then eventually those Colorado lows turn into panhandle hooks and bring us storm systems here that tend to give us some bigger systems. So we'll see. Thanks everybody for joining. Great questions. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to do these almost daily, not daily, but almost daily during the middle of the day before I head into work for my normal job as chief meteorologist at TMJ4. This is all part of it. Obviously, TV meteorologists are adapting as well. We still do our job on TV, but really trying to expand my platform online as well. So thanks, everybody.